Right, so we're back with some more back testing, seeing what trades I take, what trades I fade. So let's see what what week, month, and year we will be doing. So week 2, December. Oh no, 2024. December 2024, week 2. 2024, December, week 2. So December, not the greatest month to be backtesting. Usually you do get slow price action in that month or that area of time, but we shall see. So Monday 9:30. Let's see what. So are we at all-time highs? That's the first thing we need to check. We are. Are we on ES as well? I'm assuming so. Yeah. So all-time highs. So just going to be bullish until proven wrong. We do have this unfilled 4 hour that I would like to see us rebalance before trading higher. Do we have we created anything off of that displacement? Not really, no. So probably just like to see a resweep of that, or we just displace higher and then we catch a continuation. To be fair, I wouldn't mind shorting towards it, but the only problem is we don't really have the structure. I mean, I suppose we could resweep that 1 hour. So let's just see what we get. Market opens, generates more liquidity at the lows. Do we get that true manipulation? We don't. However, we have already got that manipulation on ES, so we would just be getting an SMT with that intermediate term high. The only concern with this would be the fact that this SMT is kind of like, it's not perfect, you know what I mean? Really, you only want to see like one swing with your SMT. We have got these relative equal highs on ES. But to be honest, that is the only thing wrong with this trade. But then again, the thing is, I'm targeting a low that, in theory, should be high resistant on ES. I know it led to a weak distribution, but you still don't really want to be trading against the trend in that scenario. So I am going to fade this. Yeah, I'm going to fade this. I'd rather just catch the long. Which it doesn't look like we're going to get the opportunity to take. We do get true manipulation there. Do we get the reaction we want? What's the highest time frame in this leg? This 2 minute, which we do get. So this would be a high time for, but the only thing is ES isn't really doing much here. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, are we reacting out of anything? Not really. Rejection block, but I don't trade them sadly. So yeah, I'm gonna fade this. If we had decent manipulation on ES, I probably would be open to taking it. And there it goes on to lose. Do we sweep out that low now? We do. Is that a daily? It's not. But it is a 4 hour intermediate term low. But then again, the only concern would be the fact that we've not got decent manipulation on the NQ now. We're kind of just displacing lower. And it is now 11 o'clock. So yeah, I mean, don't really think there was a trade you could have took in that on that day. So I will be moving on to the next, but December price action on a Monday. What can you expect? So we are kind of trending lower now. Do we have anything? Got that weekly, which is quite far away at the minute. So in this scenario, obviously, we've disrespected this 4 hour. What would I assume? Well, I would assume that we've now flipped bearish. Obviously, we get that breaker structure on ES as well. So I would want the fair value gaps in this leg be in this 4 hour to be what delivers us lower and continues this trend lower. The only thing is we don't have true manipulation, which isn't going to be the best. And the only problem is, with it being so far away on ES, by that point we probably would just end up showing no sign of respect to this 4 hour, so it's not ideal, really. But we'll see what we get anyway. We will see what we get. So we open low into that 15 minute. We do end up getting the inversion, but I probably wouldn't be open to taking anything here, just with the structure on ES. We do end up, we actually get that reaction. Highest time frame in his legs that 5 minute, but we don't have true manipulation anyway, so probably isn't something I'd be open to. Yeah, kind of just in a weird spot. There's not really much you can take here. Like, we don't have true manipulation on ES, and there's not really any way to get it without the structure on NQ just being terrible. So I can see this being another data fade. Yeah, highly doubt we're going to get anything here. And it is now 11 o'clock. Yeah, just not much you can take here. Obviously, can't really take a long. Why? Because look at the structure on ES. We're just not getting what we need there. That does end up playing out on NQ. Also, you would have been targeting what we would assume is a high resistant high on NQ, so it's not the best. That short, can't take it because there's no true manipulation. And then from here, we just end up stuck in the same range. So, not really much you can do about those days. You just got to know when to sit on your hands and wait. Now, what do? Well, we end up sweeping out that daily intermediate term low. Do we tap that weekly? We actually edge that weekly, which isn't the best. However, do we get some sort of... We don't get an SMT or anything. So not the best way to distribute on ES, but of course, days like that are going to happen. So we do tap into that daily on ES, which is something to be aware of, because if we do want to go for that weekly, this would be where I would expect us to trade lower. But then again, we can just be bullish from this point. So we'll just have to see the reaction. Obviously, longs on NQ do look good, but the only worry is this daily that we need to be careful of. So at this point, would I really want to be... Well, the thing is, dailies can give like a later reaction. They don't have to react instantly, with it being a bit of a higher time frame imbalance. Wouldn't want to take any sort of mech here. I wouldn't. Actually, let me see what the structure looks like. It's not the worst, but do we have reason to... We do actually tap into that 50 minute, so yeah, I probably won't be taking anything here. I would prefer to just wait for the long, but I don't know if we're going to get that, to be honest, because we are just flying to the moon. So this is the problem with all-time highs. You either just end up getting stuck in a range, or you just pump or dump in one direction for the whole day. And there's not really anything you can do about it. So all I'd be looking for here is true manipulation into that 15 minute. It is now a 30 minute. But we've got 15 minutes until the session ends. Yeah, we're not going to get anything here. So yeah, it's just one of them days. What did we do from 9:30? Well, we just rip higher with no possibility for entry, and then we just end up stuck in a range. So it's been a pretty terrible week so far. Let's see if Thursday and Friday can make up for it. So we are back at all-time highs. We're now showing clear well, we end up inversing that daily. So what would I assume is going to be the draw on liquidity? Well, I'm assuming we're just going to go back to all-time highs on NQ and ES, because there's not really anything in this range that can stop us from all-time highs now. We are printing a pretty big rejection wick inside of this 4 hour, which is where I would hope that we flip bullish from. Have we created anything from that? We haven't. So maybe a resweep of that to then go long would be quite nice. Let me just mark that out. So yeah, wouldn't mind a resweep of that to then go long here. We do open low. Do we get that resweep? Also wouldn't mind an SMT here, just with how recent the manipulation has been. So just keeping my eye on both assets, seeing which one manipulates it first, if we want to get out of this range, that is. Right, we do end up getting true manipulation there. Do we flip bullish? What's the highest time frame in this leg? 4 minute, is there a 5? Nope, so this 4 minute I would hope is going to get inversed. We do inverse it. What do we have as an initial target? Well, I'd just be targeting this 15-minute intermediate term high. Do we have anything on ES? Not for a while, no. So it is actually going to be these relative equal highs at the 2 hour. That is our first area that can send us lower, I think. So, yeah. I am going to take this though. Why am I going to take this? Well, like I explained before, what are we? Well, we're clearly bullish now. Why? We've reacted out of this daily. We've broke above this high. What would I expect to send us higher? Well, the PD arrays in this recent leg of price action, which we are doing with this 4 hour. ES also telling the same story. We inverse that daily. So what would we assume is going to send us higher? The PD arrays in this leg. Where to? Well, the recent ERL and all-time highs, as we don't have anything that can send us lower from there. We get a resweep of that intermediate term low after it giving a pretty weak reaction. Obviously, this was our initial mitigation. We get that resweep. We get that instant 4 minute inversion. So that is something that I'm willing to take. Yeah, obviously we do generate that a little bit of low resistance, but that is the only thing against this trade at the minute. Other than that, not much reason to fade it. In terms of stop loss placement, I would assume, so we've created both of these 1 minutes. Which one would I assume is going to deliver us higher if we are to be bullish? Well, the more premium one. So I would be okay putting my stop like there. Do I want to go there? You know what? I am going to do that. I reckon we'll be alright. Obviously, I'll have to be going break even at a 15-minute intermediate term high and then just hoping for a 1 RR. So this could be a break even, but we'll have to see. So yeah, obviously I don't assume ES is going to get up to that high before NQ reaches this one. So mainly just be focusing on NQ here. So break even there. Now we just need to hope it rips to 1 RR. Come on. Do not. Nice. Yeah, so pretty simple trade there. Yeah, that's not too bad. And first trade of the week comes on Thursday, and that's why you just need to be patient. Obviously, Monday to Wednesday was the worst thing I've ever seen. No possible entries you could have took in that day, and then Thursday, in my opinion, is a pretty A+ setup that we got. So yeah. Now this is where price action gets a little bit weird now. Why? Well, obviously this 4 hour gave a pretty nice reaction. Our trade yesterday, which was that 4 minute, was actually the lowest point in price that we went. Actually, was it? No. Well, we ended up getting a resweep, and then we go higher from there. But if you look at ES, did ES really show much sign of respect in this? No, we kind of just displayed through it. So could I see us being bearish at this point? Yeah. But obviously, bearish structure isn't really possible on NQ, so it's kind of just, it's not the best, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, we could be bullish. Obviously, we are showing signs of bullish at the minute, so we could very well just continue being bullish, but we will have to see. So we do open high. I don't think there's anything, yeah, so we just end up displacing through all-time highs again. Obviously this 15 minute not really giving a reaction on ES, or not the reaction that we would have wanted anyway. We do end up, well, we actually respect this higher one, but of course there's not really anything you can do on NQ. Why? We're at all-time highs, so there's nothing to the left of us that we can deliver lower from. We do resweep that 2 hour intermediate term low, and we tap into that 15 minute now. So I wouldn't mind being bullish here if we get the reaction. yeah, definitely wouldn't mind being bullish. I know we are respecting this 15 minute, so in theory this is high resistance, but just based on market structure, I would be more inclined to be bullish here, especially with NQ as well. So what's the highest time frame in this leg? We do actually get that 30 second, however, I am going to wait for the CISD here. I don't actually, what does ES's structure look like? Yeah, ES, oh, what is going on? ES's structure isn't the best here, so I would be waiting. Resweep, inversion. Do we have a 15? And we just end up being bearish. Nice. Yeah, this session is looking pretty cooked here. I know we still have an hour left. Oh, actually, we do get that 3 minute inversion, but once again, I just don't like what ES is doing now. ES not really respected this 2 hour the way I would have wanted, and with me already having those concerns of this 4 hour not being respected the way I wanted, and the fact that we could be bearish on ES, it's not giving me the most conviction. And what are the benefits of not having conviction when trading? Well, you just simply don't trade. You just sit out. So yeah, I can see us just chopping for the rest of the session now. Don't really think there's anything that I can take. Yeah. And that is the end of the session. So that is the end of the week as well. One trade. Yeah, one trade, 100% win rate. 1 hour on average. When did the trade come? It came on Thursday. So yeah, pretty bad price action there. But obviously, what do those bad weeks of price action teach you? Well, they just teach you to be patient. Just like we've had in current time at the minute, the past like week and a half, 2 weeks of price action have been horrendous. However, what happens when you're patient? Well, you wait, and then yesterday we ended up getting one of the best setups I've seen all year. So that is how you have to navigate these bad sections of price action. Just wait for that A plus light bulb setup to show, and then enter with no hesitation. But yeah, if you do want to see more backtesting videos, make sure to smash all the buttons below, and I'll see you in the next one.